All right, today I'm excited. We're getting the Nismo Intercooler put on the R34 today, so this is going to be a fun video. I waited almost 6 months for this part, so really excited to have it here and get it thrown on. Got the Nismo certificate of authenticity and the directions, which is a pretty cool thing to get every time you order a OEM Nismo part. You still get this stuff, so that's kind of cool. Oh, that is beautiful. Look at that. That is going to look so good in there. Okay, so here is the certificate of authenticity and the directions. Pull it out of here. So I'll Google Translate this and put it on there, but judging by the pictures, it looks like we take off the bumper, the support, and mount the bracket. And that's pretty much it. Should be pretty easy. All right, so we gotta remove this front bumper. I believe you got the 2 screws right here. And then there's gonna be 2 screws on each side over here. So we're gonna get these wheels off and get the fender liner out and then get this front bumper off. All right, got her on the lift, got the wheels off. I think the way we're gonna attack this is from the bottom to the top. I think we're gonna get this liner off, or this under tray, because that will make it easier to access all this and get these liners off. Got a bunch of Allen bolts in here. Looks like some 10 mil bolts, but we're gonna get all these out, drop that, and work on getting this liner out so we can access these 2 bolts in the bumper. All right, I think we got all the bolts out of here, so let's see if we can get this under tray out. Go. All right, now that we got this front under tray removed, we can kind of see why we did that. You have 3 bolts right here. You probably could have got to them with that under tray. Then you have a bolt right back here, and you have 2 more up here, plus the stuff up here to get off, the push pins and whatnot. So definitely makes life a little easier to get that under tray off. And then now we'll get these mud liners out and take the bolts out for the bumper. All right, now that the fender liners are out, you can see the 2 bolts here. Those are gonna be in each side, and then there's 2 bolts up top, I believe, and that should get the bumper off. Now these two bolts right here up top, and this bumper should come right off. All right, next step, we're gonna get this bumper reinforcement off. So you got a couple bolts here on each side and one underneath. There's actually 3 bolts on the top here that we have to get off. All right, now that we got the bumper support off, we got some fun stuff here. We're gonna take these 3 bolts off, which look like they're pretty rusted on there. So we're gonna put some heat to them and see if we can't crack them loose. Okay, now that we got the 3 screws out from the bottom, I undid this connector right here, undid the hose clamps, and now this intercooler should just pop right out. That is what we're left with. Look at the difference between the factory one and the Nismo one. Definitely a big upgrade. It's almost twice as thick. All right, when you get the Nismo kit, you get some sponges here. I think that's when you kind of bolt everything back together to make sure if anything's kind of touching, it's not going to squeak and rub. You also get a new temp sensor here with the gasket and some bolts to hold it on. And that just goes right down in here. All right, got the new sensor in here. Now it's kind of personal preference. From what I understood from the directions on the Nismo packet they sent me, you can cut those metal clips off and kind of remove that, which I think I'm gonna do because I think that's a cleaner look. So I'm gonna get that grill off the front bumper. All right, she's on. Now obviously, just reverse installation. All right, the front mount is in and it looks so good. Just look at that thing. That makes that car look so much better. All right, for the final test, let's start it up and take it for a drive. Make sure I didn't mess anything up and make sure she's running good. everything seems to be going pretty good. I'm excited about it. I bet I'll get a little bit more power too. I bet it won't be anything crazy, but every little bit helps. I don't know, it feels a little faster. Oh yeah, I can hear the turbo spools a little better. Oh man, that's worth the money right there.